Sol 5.6 and Fable 5 are OpenAI's and Anthropic's best models, but if we put them head to head, which one would win? To find out, we did 5 complex tests using same prompt, and the results shocked me because final rankings were too close. We decided to test them on these 5 parameters, which test their different abilities. So stay till end, because there's a tip for you on which model is best for your use case. So here's exactly how we are testing this. I got paid plan on both Claude and GPT and created a Sol versus Fable project in both. So every test will be conducted inside this project by using the same prompt with no follow-up or guiding. We will evaluate whatever it do on the first try and give the points accordingly. Now let's go to our first parameter, which is execution, and the ability at test is one-shot execution quality. Now what this basically means is, can the model take everything it knows and turn it into one clean finished product on the very first try with no back and forth? To test this, we're building a game called Gravity Flip Runner using this prompt. You remember that Chrome's dinosaur game? It's similar, but instead of jumping over cactus, here we are flipping the gravity, and it keeps getting difficult as you survive. The main deciding factor here is that I asked for the flip to feel like real physics. So let's give this prompt to both of them. Select Sol 5.6 with high effort, and similarly select Fable with high effort, and send. Now, a little context for you. GPT actually showed its generation time on screen, and Claude doesn't display that anywhere. But since I was screen recording this whole thing, I timed it myself, so whenever I give you Claude's time, that's coming straight from my own recording. So right now, both are reading their site building and front-end design skill. Sol has decided its visual direction with a high-contrast neon arcade world, and Fable has started creating the HTML file, and after 3 minutes and 20 seconds it done, while Sol is working on the left. And after 10 minutes and 40 seconds, Sol's output is also ready. Let's first look at what Sol built. On the home page, we have got this nice UI with neon theme and name in the center. Then there is this instructions that says space or click to flip and start button. Let's click on this. So visually it looks good. It has got a name at top, live distance score, and 3 hearts for lives. All the stuff I asked for is there on screen. But once I start playing, the first thing I noticed is that it's slow. Like really slow. I know it is designed to speed up over time, but even accounting for that, the opening pace feels sluggish and it doesn't attract the player. Second thing, when I hit the flip button, it doesn't feel like gravity flipping. It feels like there's a spring and he's just bouncing off it. So the core mechanics isn't landing the way it should. And third part that actually breaks it is that if I hold or keep pressing the flip button while it's in air, gravity just keeps switching over and over, and the character hovers in air only. And technically this isn't wrong, but it completely defeats the point of a gravity flip game. And now this is not about timing the flip to dodge a spike, it's just a Flappy Bird with a different look. Now let's see what Fable built. It also has name in the center, instructions, and start button. And visually, it's clean. Score counter is at the top, there's a velocity counter and a timer at right, and lives represented by heart. Now let's talk gameplay, and honestly, this is really good. The physics feels correct, gravity flips properly, and there is no weird spring-like bounce as well. Now when I held the flip button mid-air to see how it would behave, it worked perfectly, with no hovering mid-air. So this one is to pick, it's interactive, and plays exactly like what I asked for. I will also drop the link in description for you to try both games. So round 1 goes to Fable. It used its own wisdom to figure out what I actually meant, not just what I actually typed, proving that it has better one-shot execution quality than Sol. Alright, watching a model build a game is fun, but it doesn't tell you if that model can think deeply. Building a thing in one shot is different from planning something where every decision matters, and this is where our next parameter comes in, which is planning, and the ability at test is multi-step autonomous planning. So what this means is, can the model actually think several steps ahead on its own, without user making every single decision? Because creating a thing from one prompt is one skill, but planning something where step 1 affects step 4 and step 4 affects step 7, that's a completely different level of thinking. To test this, I gave both models a real trip I'd actually consider. 9 days across London, Paris, and Amsterdam, a fixed budget of $5,000, and specific interests like history, art museums. I asked for a complete day-by-day itinerary that would fit inside my budget, with realistic travel time between cities. Then at the end, it had to break down exactly where the money went. I also asked it to flag anything about entry requirements or visa I'd need to know. So this prompt isn't testing if it knows cool places to visit, it's testing if it can hold a budget, a timeline, and a set of preferences, all at once. So I'll paste this prompt, select Sol and Fable, and send. Now, Fable on the right is actually showing all sources is it referring to, while Sol on the other hand is doing everything under the hood. Fable took 3 minutes and 15 seconds, while Sol took 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And let's look at what they both gave. So both of these came with a plan, and if you just give a look, they both look good. But I actually went deep inside and found many interesting things. So let's start with Fable. The itinerary says that London 3 nights, Paris 3 nights, and Amsterdam 2 nights. But look at its own day by day. On day 7, it arrives Amsterdam, and by day 8 evening, it's already back in London and sleeping in a simple hotel in Pancras or Paddington, which means that it's 4th night in London and only 1 night in Amsterdam. And even in the cost breakdown, it bills 2 Amsterdam night and never charged for that 4th London night. Now, another thing I caught is that in intercity travel section, the trains are budgeted at $320 total, but then in cost breakdown, it uses $300 for that same thing. It's another inconsistency. Now this one is huge. Fable spent total $3,400 for complete trip and leaves $1,600 unspent. That's only using about 2/3 of the budget I gave, whereas Sol spends $44.47 and leaves $553, so it's using about 90%. Now, leaving money unspent isn't a crime, but look at what Fable compromised to save the amount. It's Versailles. It literally excluded Versailles, which is one of the most historic city of France, and the reason it gave is that it would have took whole half day plus $35. That too, when I specifically told both of them that I'm into history. On the contrary, Sol gave it an entire day, day 5, from 8 in the morning to 5:30, and it still came in the budget. So Sol spent my money on what I asked for, but Fable saved it, even when I never asked for it. Now, another thing is timing. I specifically asked them to tell me what time I should realistically travel between cities, so that schedule doesn't overlap or leave gaps. Fable answer is like morning at the British Museum, afternoon at the Tower of London, which is fine, but it's not a schedule. Now look what Sol gave. 8:30 to 10:15, immigration and baggage. 10:15 to 11:15, Elizabeth line into the city, and it does that for all 9 days. So everything till now is just accuracy, but the next thing is what separates a model that's planning from a model that is just writing. Look at this line in Sol. If your flight lands after 10:30 a.m., skip the prepaid Abbey slot and move it today to morning. Now I want you to think for a second about what could be the reason that Sol gave this line. Probably it had to analyze that Westminster Abbey closes to tourists mid-afternoon, then realizes that it had booked a paid ticket on arrival day, and then realized that my flight time is the only variable it doesn't control. And after all this, it write me a backup plan for the version of the trip where things can go wrong. That's what we call a planning. Fable also did some things better. It put the entry requirements right at the top, even before the itinerary, because this is something that you would do first. It then explains the weird Eurostar border thing really clearly, where you clear French immigration in London and British immigration in Amsterdam. But still, according to me, round 2 goes to Sol, because both of them wrote a good trip itinerary, but only Sol wrote a trip that survives with reality. And I will also attach both itineraries in the description, so you can do your analysis as well, and share your findings in the comment. Alright, this test told us that one of these models plans like it's actually thinking, and other like it's just filling a template. But planning is still a big picture skill, and let's actually go to opposite extreme, where no planning or research or logic is required. And this brings us to our third parameter, which is precision, and the ability it tests is instruction fidelity. Now this basically means that when you give a lot of requirements at once, does model actually follow every single one, or does it just grab the general vibe and come up with an output? To test this, I use this prompt and ask to build a landing page for a pair of headphones. This prompt has 9 hidden details that page must have. Let's send this and see do they really execute all instructions. To track this, I will make a table of all 9 requirements. Let's start with Sol. Visually, website looks professional and polished. It has got some nice grid design in the background, but let's go through the checklist. Background and accent color is correct as prompted. We can verify the through inspect element. Then if we come to the tagline, it says immersive details, effortless comfort, engineered for the way you listen now. And this is 11 word, so it failed in this one, because we specifically asked to keep the tagline below 10 words. After that, we have exactly 3 feature card right here, 6 different specification listed as given in the prompt, and exact marketing line as well. Then price is also $179 with not decimals, and button text also reads get yours today, and at last there is no reviews testimonials or FAQ in the website. So combine all of this, Sol followed 8 out of 9 details. Now let's look at what Fable gave. The first thing you look here is that it is very minimal. Now let's go to our checklist, and here also our background and accent color is correct. But if you look at tagline, it surely doesn't seem under 10 words. In fact, it's over 20, so Fable also lost this part. Now if we scroll down, there are 3 feature cards, same 6 specifications, and same marketing line with 40% extra battery life. Then price is also listed at $179 with correct format, and button text is also fine. And lastly, there are no reviews or testimonials, which means that Fable also scored 8 out of 9. So is this a tie? I don't think so, because there are a few other things that I noticed. First is obvious that both of them failed to keep tagline under 10, but Sol missed it by 1 word, whereas Fable missed it by more than 10 words. Another thing is that Sol's page looks professional, like something a brand would use, but Fable made something which looks like it was built by an intern who was still exploring the tools. And here is that thing that matters more than these two. Fable added a line that says free shipping, 30-day return, and 2-year warranty. I never mentioned anything about shipping, return, or warranty, so Fable didn't even miss the instruction, but it also invented a business policy, which can be a bigger problem than missing the tagline word limit. So in this round for Sol, I would cut 1/4 for just missing the tagline instructions by one word, and cut half a point from Fable for missing by large margin and inventing new details. Because when you're testing if a model follows instructions, staying close to what you told is also important. Alright, so precision was about if a model read the instructions carefully, but do they actually understand the situation, or are they just good at following instructions on the surface? To test this, we have our 4th parameter, which is judgment, and ability to test is reasoning under ambiguity. This means that when a model doesn't have all information it needs, does it actually notice and ask for that, or does it just create a hollow answer and sound confident with it? To test this, I use this prompt, which is a real pricing dilemma situation. Here I have a fitness app that's stuck at the same number of subscribers for 6 months. New people keep signing up for the free trial, but they're not converting, and I'm stuck between 2 options. Whether should I lower the price or add a more expensive tier with coaching? Now, the thing to notice is that here I haven't added important metrics like conversation rate, flip variable, competitor pricing, churn data, and other numbers that are valuable to make a decision in this situation. Let's see if any models catches it. Alright, both models have gave their response and they didn't ask me for anything. But let's see what they have got. Fable starts with that it would pick premium tier, and Sol says to keep the plan at $14.99 only. Fable says that trial conversion is an activation problem because users did not complete enough workout and do not see any progress before the trial end. So it didn't ask me why people are leaving, it just assumed and told me the reason, and asked me to verify it by sending email to non-converters and ask them why they didn't subscribe, and why it said so. Because in my prompt I said that I don't want to guess, so this thing said me to send an email and ask. Now Sol also lands on same thing, but in different words. It says that people may not be experiencing enough value during that trials, so none of them says that pricing can be the problem. But Sol does something Fable missed. It goes and pulled real numbers from Apple Fitness, Peloton membership, and suggested that you are in a plausible middle position, and then cited actual industry data that health and fitness apps currently have a conversion around 37%. It then asked to run a new user experiment with control and variant, which I feel is more data-oriented approach than asking the reason through email. So Fable came up with a fast, cheap, and a pretty smart way to just go ask real users, and Sol used real market data and suggested a proper experiment design. So this one is a tie for me, because both of them landed on the same thing, without asking any data about my business. So I'm giving half point to each one, which make it 2.25 for Sol and 2 for Fable till this point. Okay, so every test so far had one thing in common. I gave a blank page and asked to create something like a game, a trip plan, landing page, or make a business call. But that is just one way people use these tools. The other way is handling it something broken and asking to fix it, and this is where our 5th parameter comes in, which is diagnosis, and the ability to test is debugging and verification. What that means is, can the model actually read code that it didn't write, understand what it's supposed to do, and find the one thing that's wrong? To test this, I have built a small shopping cart and planted one bug inside it. So if I add one laptop, one jacket, and one coffee bean in the cart, and click on calculate total without applying any of the discount, subtotal comes out to be $720, and after tax it's $780, which is correct because we have 10% tax on electronics, 5% on clothing, and 0 on food. But now, if I select the clothing 50 coupon, which give 50% off on clothing items, and then calculate the total, then we can see that they're a discount of $100, but the tax is still 60, 10% of 500, which is 50, plus 5% of 100, which must be 5, making the tax to 55, and total should be 675. So the bug is that even after the discount, the tax is applied on original price. Let's check if these model can fix this. I will give my project file and just say that there is some bug that is giving wrong total, and let's see if they can correct this. Fable again won in response time, and Sol is still working on it. And after a few minutes, here we are. Let's look at their response. Okay, so first thing, both of them find the same file and same exact line, both called this getCategoryDiscountAmount function, and subtract it before the tax gets applied. But Fable caught something extra that Sol didn't even mention. It says that the bulk 10 path just above does this correctly using this function, and just mirrored it. It signifies that Fable is sharp reader of the codebase, which is not just patching the line, but actually understanding the pattern around it. But then Fable trips over its own explanation. Earlier it says that a $200 jacket should be taxed $5, not $10. Then later, summarizing its own fix, it writes that a $200 jacket with the coupon was taxed $10 instead of $5, making the total $115 instead of $110. And if you do the math with me, 200 minus a 50% discount is 100. Buggy tax is $10, so buggy total is $110. Correct tax is $5, so correct total is $105, not $115. And this is a model explaining a math bug that has a math error in its own explanation of that math bug. Funny, isn't it? Meanwhile, Sol response is a lot tighter, with no leaked internals or numbers that contradict themselves. It states the bug, fixes it, and done. So both of them actually fixed the bug, but Fable showed sharper code reading, catching that the fix already existed right next to the bug, while Sol showed better self-discipline. So I would give 1 point to both of them, making it total 3 for Fable and 3.25 for Sol, which makes Sol the winner of this entire competition, by just a slight margin. Now you know Sol win this one, but that doesn't mean Fable is of no use, because which one is better have not value until you know what you're actually using it for. And here's the tip I spoke in the beginning of this video. I am going to list most common things people actually use these tools for, and then split it on the basis of what we saw today. If you're building something from scratch, like an app, website, a game, blog post, a script, presentation, social captions, or marketing copy, go for Fable, because it understood what I actually meant, not just what I typed. But if you're planning something with real numbers and data, like a trip, a budget, schedule, spreadsheet, a meal plan, a workout plan, or anything with a deadline or a dollar figure that has to add up by the end, I would say go with Sol. That's the kind of thing it pulled on. If you disagree with any of these calls, tell me how you would have scored differently. And if this was helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more such breakdown. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.